Yeah, can you just tell them about that? Okay.
Some sunny day. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Thank you for being here. We gather today to mourn the passing of David Conduit, or Dave. We gather to say our final farewells, and we gather to pay tribute to David's life of 82 years. Now, if I'm absolutely correct, David passed away the day after his birthday. Birthday was on the 3rd of June, and David sadly left us on the 4th. And I'm going to say a life lived to the full. A life full of energy, full of enthusiasm, full of integrity, full of hard work, and full of fun. Some of the stories I've heard of the early days of the crew, if you like. Jonesy, I know you're out there. I hope you're out there. Rick's going to fill us in on those memories and amazing years a bit later on, I hope. Yep, I've got a nod of the head. And Jan, for all those wonderful years that you and David have shared, both made your own memories, and doubtless your heart's broken. We're thinking of you. Now, David wouldn't want us to be here too long. Rather, he'd prefer having a beer with you all. This bloke that we pay tribute today, a leader, but wouldn't want the spotlight on him. Well, he'd say quiet and strong, but maybe not quiet all the time. And I don't know about you blokes gathered here. Sorry, ladies, this is a blokey thing. I'm saying you would have looked on David as a mentor and a guide. Whether it be work, whether it be footy, whether it be the surf club, whether it be the golf club, where he was captain early 60s. And if I've taken that was his dad. Right, he might have been a bit young, he wasn't, yeah. And for me, well, sadly or not, I always wanted a physique like David's square and muscled and powerful body. No, it's all good. It's all good. Have a look at those thighs. If they're not swimmers' thighs, I'll go E. If they're not footballers' thighs, I'll go E. Yeah, I know it's a bit weird. But I always thought that Dave was, well, I'll use the word invincible. Somehow. He was a constant, like the tides when he dived for mussels. He was easy to be around. He was interested in how you were going, what you were doing. And you know, I'm sure times like this reinforced the need to catch up with good people in our lives, family and friends. But Jan and Rick and Paul and Jasmine and Ryan and Michael and Rose all lost someone, a tower and a tower of strength in your lives. We've got to catch up with good people in our lives, not just gonna. Because sometimes it's just too late. So for all of you gathered here today, David has very obviously had a strong impact on your lives. So please bring back a memory of this fella and hold it close. And I'm going to share this with you. As we look back over time, we find ourselves wondering, did we remember to thank you enough for all that you've done for us? For all the times you were by our sides to help and support us? To celebrate our successes and accept our defeats? Or for teaching us by your example the value of hard work, good judgment, courage and integrity? We wonder if we ever thank you for the sacrifices you made to let us have the very best, or for all the simple things, like laughter and smiles and times we shared. And if we've forgotten to show our gratitude for the things that you did well, we're thanking you now. And we're hoping that you knew all along just how much you meant to us. I reckon that's a beautiful bit of writing, pure and simple, but it says so jolly much. And memories from the boys that knew and loved this man. You boys going to come up together, or are you going to take it in turns? Rick, you start off.
Technology, eh? Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. G'day everyone. This has probably been one of the toughest things I've ever had to do. I've delivered speeches to thousands of ranting union members at rallies, at meetings at Dallas Books Hall. I haven't had a problem talking to them because I believed in the cause, and it pretty much came straight from the heart. Well, I believe in Dad's cause as well, but this is different. Thanks, mate. I've written this speech a dozen times in my head, written it on paper a few times. It's really difficult to cover in a short speech what Dad has accomplished in a lifetime. Over the last week and a half, since Dad passed away, I've had text messages and phone calls from people all around the country, people I work with, people he worked with, friends, family. It's just overwhelming. We went through some photos to put up today, and the funny part about it was Dave's not in half of them because he was taking the photo. At the end of the day, I had some advice from a good friend who said, just go with your gut, Rick. So here we go. David Osborne Conduit was 82 and one day when he passed away suddenly on the 4th of June. Son to Doug and Irene, younger brother to Alan, husband to Carol and then Jan, father to Paul and I, grandfather to Jasmine, Ryan and Michael, carer and provider to his family, always supportive of his relatives, a great mate to his friends, an excellent tradesman, champion sportsman, a loving, humble, gentle man who made a lasting impression on every person he met. In the early days, Dad was born in Melbourne somewhere, I can't remember, but they lived in Brighton, and his mum and dad run the Brighton Beach kiosk and hire boats. Funnily enough, at 4 or 5 they moved to Lakes Entrance and by the sea again here. Early days he went to primary school here in Lakes and then the tech school in Bairnsdale. Funnily enough, we both had the same teachers. They both were not real good teachers, but they remembered us pretty well. He was a great swimmer. I'm not sure if his swimming started at school sports at Tech or whether it was a Surf Life Saving Club here in Lakes. Either way, he was winning titles and championships. He was a foundation member of the surf club here and a life member. I recall a story from one of the locals years ago. He told me that Dad trained so hard to do well at everything he did. He remembered his father standing on the footbridge barking at him while he was swimming laps of the front lake with a bucket tied to his leg. Footy was his go. He pretty much did everything here at Lakes, at this football club here. Player, coach, selector, trainer, many individual honours, but funnily enough, he never played in the grand final. I've heard people say he was the best player to pull on a boot. The Seagulls, I don't recall, but in his own words he did okay. But there were others who were better. Wes Richardson, Dennis McGrath, Wayne Esler, bloke named Paul Harrison, just to name a couple. In 1970, Dad stepped aside as coach of Lakes. The club had decided to embark on a new coach from Melbourne, hopefully in the pursuit of a premiership, which they had never won. You'd think Dad would go, new bloke's coming along, they'd sort of push me out, see you later. No, he stuck around. He mentored the bloke who came here, Wayne Skinner. In 71, they won the flag. Funny story, when Dad was trying to build a friendship with Wayne, he decided to take him prawning. The city boy didn't have a clue what he was doing. They rocked up at the lake, unloaded the dip nets and lights. Dave pulled the punt out of the back of the car and Skinner looked at it and said, how the bloody hell are we both going to fit in that? He was a champion squash player. He was involved here in the local squash club for many years. He had a bit of a crack at tennis, but he wasn't too flash at that, so he can't be good at everything. He played golf. He tried to improve his game. The reality was he was a bit of a hacker. Funny part about it is he had 2 hole-in-ones here at Lakes on the 11th, 1 week after the other on a Friday night in the chicken run. First shot was the biggest shank you've ever seen. Should have ended up in the lake, hit a tree, bounced off the grass and ended up rolling onto the green straight in the hole. A week later, I said to him, I bet you couldn't do it 2 weeks in a row. He goes, no, probably not. And then he shanked another 4-iron, landed, bounced, rolled straight in the hole again. 2 in a row. Couldn't believe it. He didn't get any record for it. There's nothing here on the boards in the golf club because they were in the chicken run on a Friday night, which was just a hit and giggle really. Dad was also a member of the Apex Club and the Lions Club and did what they all do. I've never been part of those groups, but I'm sure that they've done a lot for this community, and they did when Dad was there. I remember him doing a lot of work for the community in the town with those clubs. 67 Hazel Road. Dad pretty much built it on his own. A bit of help from Mum and a bit of plumbing from Alan. The place was party central during the 60s and the 70s, back in the day when people didn't go to the pub. They went to someone's house. They gathered together with their friends and drank and played records and did silly things. There was always something going on at home, whether it was the neighbours, friends, family. It was a great place to be, and growing up there was a happy time. I recall when my brother had his 21st at home, the boys partied on pretty late into the night. And it wasn't until the next day when Dad was cleaning up, he found a couple of empty bottles of grains down under the lemon trees. It appears as though Paul and his mates and I believe Turtle decided to give Dad Seller a bit of a nudge. Another time when there was an eclipse of the moon. Like, really? You're going to have a party for the eclipse of the moon? But any reason for a party? So they all gathered around out in the backyard, and I remember Turtle Stewart deciding to ride my 3-wheel bike around, thinking he would get a better view of it. Turns out he crashed my bike and broke it. But that didn't stop the party from going on. As I said, it was a happy place, and growing up here in Lakes, we were a close family. We had holidays together. We used to go boating, camping, play footy, Summers, we're on the beach. We always ended up back home. It was his castle. And recently, I suggested to him that perhaps he and Jan might like to find a nice little unit downtown, easy to maintain, no grass to mow. He said, I'm not leaving here, I'm not budging. Dad was a typical country boy, hunter-gatherer, and loved animals. Fishing and shooting and living off what this place provided fed us for years. We always appreciated what Dad did when it came to all of those things. We had so many great times with so many great people. It's hard to put them all into a short speech, but I'm sure later, when we gather, we can have a chat and remember about some of the old yarns. Dad was a bit of a animal lover, you could say. He used to bring home orphans, ducks, possums. He loved dogs and cats. I think at times Dad liked animals and birds more than he liked people. He brought home one day, he rescued a baby bushy-tailed possum. I'm talking like baby. Its mother had been run over, I believe. Dad brought it home. We fed it, we nurtured it, we raised it. We named it Possum Tinker. Don't know why. But the possum got so big, it was as big as a domestic cat. And it got to the stage where Mum said, David, that possum has to go. Every time he climbs the curtains, he's ripping holes in them. So unfortunately, poor old Tinker got sent back to the bush. And Mum managed to save her curtains. In his working life, Dave gave as much to lakes as he did in his sporting achievements. His honesty, his integrity of delivering electrical services to the community. He put up with me for 4 years as an apprentice and turned me into a pretty reasonable Sparky. I think a lot of people in town loved working with Dave because he was always so easygoing but also a perfectionist. Boats is an interesting subject in Dave's life. I don't really think he ever liked them, but I think he needed them to get him to where he wanted to be. The boats were the vehicle that took him to places where he could relax, spend time doing the things he loved with his family and friends. Over the journey he had a few boats, but as they say, there's only 2 good days in a boat owner's life. That's the day he buys it and the day he sells it. In closing, there is so much more that I'd like to tell you. Spare a thought, please, for Jan, who was with Dad right to the end. She stuck by him. She's sadly lost 2 husbands through illness in the last 10 years. Her and Dad were terrific together, and I don't know how Dad would have been had Jan not come along after Mum passed away. Dad will always be the most significant person in my life. He was a great father, my mentor, and my best mate. He was always so supportive to Paul and I in all of our pursuits in life. He cared dearly for Mum and me and Jan and wanted the best for his grandchildren. I'll miss him. I'm not a big believer in the afterlife, but if there is one, as Rose said to me the other day, he'll be in the company of a lot of his family and friends who have passed before him. I'm sure every one of you have a fond memory of Dad, many fond memories of Dad. And although this is a sad occasion, it's also a celebration of his life. Last week after Dad's stroke, Jan said to me she was praying for a miracle that Dad would survive. The miracle is that Dad lived and had a wonderful life and gave so much to the people he cared about and for this town and this community. Thank you everyone for coming.
Just a quick thank you to Rick and Rose and Jan. Obviously I've been in Queensland and they sort of helped pretty much organise today. I'd just like to thank them for that, and anyone else that's put together today, Pete. Just a quick story on Dave. Tell about 100 or 200 or more, but just one. Dave and Carol, we decided one weekend they were going to head off to Marimula, Narooma, whatever, for a bit of a holiday. At this time I was probably 15 or 16 or so, and so I've got the planning in for the week. Righto, they're off Friday. Get some cans, a few boys organised. Bit of tucker or whatever. The old girl, I think, knew what was going on because she loaded up some food and she had a bit of rough idea what was going to go down. So anyway, the Friday night we kick off and thought, all right, I'll crank the barbecue up. So I go to the back, crank the barbecue up, have a few more tins. I was sitting in the lounge room there and you smell this rubber, black smoke, whatever. Oh shit, we're going to have a good barbecue. How we get out there, the barbecue's on fire, the lid was still on it. The house was just about to catch fire. So righto, we put that out. We're off to a flyer already. So yeah, we had a pretty big night. We ended up tucking into a few days, liqueurs, ports, pretty much anything that was in the fridge, or in his bar, underneath the house. So we rolled that over, and several fellas are here today that were involved in a few incidents. And we've gone all right Friday night. We might have another crack Saturday. We'll have another go at this. We're not going too bad. So the next Saturday night we get the fire going. Logs rolled out of the fire, burnt the carpet. Cigarette butts in the carpet. A few more tins, and some certain fella, I think his name was Peter Aguardo, has gone backwards through the glass table in the lounge, smashed that. So I said, oh, well, we're not going too bad, a few incidents. So anyway, I got home and all the boys had gone by then. I'm cleaning up. Clean 20 everywhere, house stinks of grog, the carpet stinks of grog, barbecue's rooted, glass table's smashed. Oh yeah. So when I went home I said, right, I'm just going to cop up straight away. I'm going to tell him everything. What we done, what went down, didn't blame anyone else, just said it was me. Or maybe a couple. And anyway, so and I said, oh, he's not real happy with you. And I said, well, I can gather that. So anyway, I ended up going out the backyard to show him the barbecue that I'd burnt to a crisp. And we're down the backyard there, and the old girl was peeking out the window. And things got a bit tense. And the old man started the old finger in the chest. Oh, got no air righto, and then and he gave me a clip. Well, he took my ear off. So then someone come across me at the time, I don't know why. I said, well, you want to have a blue, do you? They stands. And I'm thinking, that wasn't a real good call, but... So anyway, we're just about to shape up, and he goes, oh, I'll give you first crack. And I'm going, yeah, righto. I said, what after that? And he goes, well, it's up to you. And I said, righto, why don't we just shake hands, because I don't think Mum wants us to fight. So we shook hands, and yeah, a lesson well learned, and I didn't want another one of them clip under the ears ever again. But yeah, like I said, just Dave was a ripper bloke. I think everyone sort of knows that this here, and yeah, sad in passing, and let's hope we can have a couple of drinks this afternoon and celebrate what a good bloke he was.
Fair income. Oh dear. The Grange underpinned the backyard at 1,500, 2 grand's worth of beautiful, I've been told this. After that, ladies and gentlemen, time for a pause, and we're going to watch a photographic presentation of David's life, and I know there's some ripper photos of that because Rick's told me. Thank you, Gavin.
of people passing by. See friends shaking hands, singing, how do you do? They really say, I love you. I hear babies cry and I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than we'll know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Someday I wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where trouble melts like a lemon drops high above the chimney top. That's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. And the dreams that you dare to, why, oh, why can't I?
Candy-colored clown they call the Sandman tiptoes to my room every night just to sprinkle stardust and to whisper, go to sleep, everything is all right. I close my eyes, then I drift away into the magic night. I softly say a silent prayer like dreamers do. Then I fall asleep to dream my dreams of you. In dreams I walk with you. In dreams I talk to you. In dreams you're mine all the time we're together. In dreams, but just before the dawn, I awake and find you gone. I can't help it, I can't help it if I try. I remember that you said goodbye. It's too bad all these things can only happen in my dreams.
Yes. Gosh, beautiful, beautiful memories there. Does anybody know if Carlton have finished playing footy against Richmond, who won last night? Oh, sorry, Rick. Sorry. Touchy subject. And you might have noticed David standing in front of the boys, the three of you in full regalia, footy club regalia, just magnificent. You'll see the number 19 with David, it's a representation of his number. It's not his jumper, it wouldn't fit him for a start, but his jumper, the boys said, is just about ready to fall to bits, so we thought we'd just leave it as it was and have a representation that the mighty number 19 is there. Now, ladies and gentlemen, when our tribute to David's at an end, if you'd like to, we're going to go up to the cemetery, but if you'd like to stay here, Jan's going to be here. It'd be lovely to support Jan. We're going to be reasonably brief up there. Rick says, yep, do the job, come back and have a beer with you all. If you'd like to, before the boys get back, if you'd like to buy a drink, that's fine, but there might be something on the table when the boys get back. But please feel comfortable staying here rather than going up. I've noticed the sun's shining, but it's quite brisk outside, so very much up to you. We will not be long up there if you choose to stay here. Now, Jonesy, speaking of it's a bit brisk here, Alan Jones, a great mate of Dave's. You're up in Broome, I won't say that out loud. But Jonesy's put these words together, and Alan, I read them with honour and pride on your behalf, and Lou's here as well. It's with deep sadness that I write these few words, as David and I have been friends for 55 years since I arrived in Lakes Entrance, and to Rick and his family, and to Paul and to Jan, I pass on my deep condolences. David was my best man at my wedding. To our family, he was Uncle David, and Carol was Auntie Carol, and both were godparents to Mick and Lou. David and I bonded through football, and one year he actually got me super fit by running me to the entrance and back, and Jonesy says it nearly killed me. Well, he's not a fine-looking figure of a man, he's a full-figured man. Jonesy, we fished, we hunted, we boated, we camped, and we went on family holidays to Malakuta regularly. And every Friday night, Dave and I would catch up at the Kalimna Hotel, and usually packed up on the Saturday night for a family dinner also. And although we lived at different ends of town, drink driving didn't exist in those days. Some days over summer, we're usually out at the barrier, fishing, skiing, and the mandatory barbecue to finish the weekend off. Lots of fun and lots of laughs. David was diligent at his work, reliable. Sounds like, Jonesy, it sounds like you're doing him a CV, a resume. He was a man of routine and a perfectionist at everything he did. And this is the big one. Like us all, he had a big influence on my life, says Jonesy, and I will miss him. But life moves on, and the Conduit boys and the Jones family, we will be friends forever. Thanks, Alan. Don't think of us down here, just enjoy the warmth. And a second tribute from Alan and Val Hislop. David Conduit. Unlike all the rest of us, says Alan, yes, we were looking forward to more time with David. Easy it is to say, but it was not to be. But that doesn't erase in any way our grief, our sadness and our regret at David's passing. Occasions such as this, says Alan, turn our thoughts to memories created together, turn our thoughts to the appreciation of knowing a person of great character, turn our thoughts to recall an age-old adage, a good man and true. And we turn our thoughts to privately ponder our own life, which included our friend David, and respectfully claim our fortune. Thanks, Dave. Miss you we will. Remember you we will. May the youth who have the opportunity to know you show their appreciation by emulating your character traits. And to Jen, you I know will, with strength, address this unexpected change. Thank you both, Allens. Thank you so much. Now our second reading for today, ladies and gentlemen, and this is Connie, just simply true. That man is a success. That man is a success who has lived well, loved much, and laughed often. Who has gained the respect of intelligent men and women and the love of children. Who has filled his niche, who has accomplished his task, who leaves the world better than he found it, who had never lacked appreciation of earth's beauty or failed to express it, who looked for the best in others and gave the best he had. That's you, Dave. When we come to our time of farewell, it's a time that we didn't expect. It's upon us. It's upon us, and we will accept it. We will accept it. The pain and the grief will ease in times to come. But the wonderful memories, they're what sustain us. I said before about let's not gunner catch up with people that we love and care for. Let's do it. Just so you can look someone in the eye and say, "G'day, how you going?" Chat over old memories, as Rick's shared with us beautifully, as Paul shared with us beautifully. Just sad that he's gone. And for some of us, we are sitting. We are here today and wishing we had a caught up. Rest peacefully, old fella. The boys will carry on. And Jan, you're going to miss your man. You're going to miss your man very much. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. If you feel that you'd like to, please join with me in the words of the Lord's Prayer. Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. As I say, feel very comfortable staying here for a cuppa and a chat with Jan, please. We will not be too long up the top. I mean, I was cheeky before to say very naughtily about Carlton still playing footy. But I suppose we've got to have a song to take David out to, and he'd get annoyed with us if we didn't. It's got to be the Carlton Footy Club song, isn't it? Thank you all so much for being here today. Thank you. Gavin, at least it's not the Collingwood one, boys. Oh, Carlton, thank you, Gavin. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen.
We are the baby blues. We are the old dark baby blues. We're the team that never lets you down. We're the only team old Carlton knows. With all the champions they like to send up, we'll keep our end up, and they will know that they've been playing against the famous old dog blues. We are the baby blues. We are the old dark baby blues. We're the team that never lets you down. We're the only team old Carlton knows. With all the champions they like to send up, we'll keep our end up, and they will know that
You usually Jan to go through the door.
We'll go through the door.
I would go.
Lift him up and try and go. And the voice at the back.
Thanks,
Turn around and the feet first.
Through this big here, mate.
You'll be right.
Sorry, Jeff.
Right in the middle of that roll bar. And Gavin will take it up behind. Lovely, Julie. Thank you very much. And same gentleman at the cemetery. So I'm going to get you to sign in here. If you have any cemetery. Just sign it up.
I'm sure there would have been some stories there to be told. But the barbecue. I knew you would have been one of the culprits.
Doesn't look like
It's for your Kundera.
Sure.
Okay, so
Oh, yeah.
and it's just everybody who's come today. All right, those of you coming to the cemetery, if I ask you to give me your cards now and we'll take off.
Oh, do you want to come with us? Through.
Yeah, whatever.
Keep playing that music, mate. That was a good song.
All I have to see